Whenever you're ready, Barbara, recording started.
Does it say that we're right on time at 5 o'clock?
Yep.
Do you want me to answer that? Cause I got 5:01.
You do, well, my watch says 5, so.
All right, we'll go by that. 5 o'clock.
Okay,
Got that, Juliet? 5 o'clock.
we'll call to order at 5 o'clock and the roll call. Kate?
Yep.
Ann?
Yep.
Roger?
Here.
Frank is absent, he's in the hospital, he had a medical issue, so he's been in the hospital, I think, almost a week now. So I am gonna send him a card, I tried to call today to see how he was doing, but there, I never got an answer. Tina?
Yep.
Jen
Yes, ma'am.
and Julia. Okay. Audience of citizens?
Approval of minutes for the dwellers.
Oh, I went right by that. Approval of minutes for November 20th.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Thank you.
Still have to vote.
Is there anyone opposed to that?
All
Or
in,
do we
all in,
accept that?
all in favor?
All in
Aye.
favor? Aye.
Okay.
Okay. Audience of citizens, Gloria, do you have anything that you'd like to add?
No, I'm just
Say?
observing.
Well, that's good. We're happy to have you. Thank you for coming. Okay, election of office.
Donna's here for
Donna's
audience of
on.
citizens too.
Donna.
Yeah.
I didn't see that.
I don't know, if you want me to speak now or wait?
No,
until we
you
bring
can.
up the community and senior center
That's
project?
up to, that's a,
When would you like, you wanna talk about it now? And then if you don't wanna stay, you don't have to stay. It's up to you.
Sure, I'll probably stay anyway. I don't mind.
I don't have a report because I didn't get it done today. So, to be honest with you,
You are so honest, okay.
yes, I just did not have the time.
Yeah, Donna, why don't you tell us about your visit to Rockingham?
Okay, so, as many of you know, the town has hired a new architect.
Can you introduce Donna? 'Cause
Oh,
that
Donna,
everybody
yeah,
doesn't
I'm
know.
assuming everybody knows. This is Donna Mulvey. She is the chairman for the Park and Recreation Commission. And she's been very involved with the senior center, community center through Park and Rec. Okay.
My colleague Barbara, and obviously the staff, but, town council hired a new architect, Brian Humes. To take a look at our current statement of needs, so both Parks and Rec and the senior center have a statement of needs for a new facility of some type, right? And, those were developed a couple of years ago. We had a subcommittee that was established by the council. Council really didn't do anything with the report, and now it's a couple of years later, and they want to get back to it. I guess, in part, and I was not at the meeting that the, mayor had, around November 1st or so here. But some comments that came out of it is, would like you to go back to it and take a look at, doing something. And as he indicated, I believe, he's also looking at the Y as an option. And I think we all understand the Y isn't an option for a senior center, nor is it a replacement of our current Parks and Rec department. The Y operates independent, it's a nonprofit, they have their own mission, but it doesn't replace the senior center in any town that they're in. And they are in many towns, as we know. But with the new architect, Jen, Tina, Deb Dennis from Parks and Rec, Barbara and myself, have met 2 times now with Brian Humes and his role, and Barbara has a copy of it, but this, we just have a section of, will be in his contract, I guess, when it's signed. But his role is to, explore and determine a reduced statement of need for the Berlin Senior Community Center project compared to previous efforts. So really take our statement of need that we had a couple years ago and cut it. All with the hope of reducing the overall cost to put a new facility in, or reuse buildings that we have or space that we have. So that's Brian's overall objective. And he's working with us and asking us to take a look at this current statement of needs. Really define it a little more in detail within the statement of need. Really specific, like rooms, like, well, what do you do now with the room? And what are you gonna do if you got a room, another room, you know, what would you do differently? What are the new programs that you would run? What are the safety issues that we have in our current facilities that we need to correct? Parking, right, outside, along, you know, ADA compliance and other things, so, you know, what are those types of things? So what do we need? Really need, he doesn't want to hear about wants. It has to be needs. And again, we have to reduce what we've asked for in the past. We asked the council, I asked the council, I went to council meeting and I asked them to give us a dollar figure. And then we'll work with Brian and figure out what we can get for that money. And they weren't able, they don't want to give it, they don't know, based on the council, what that dollar figure is. Although, you know, just so that everybody's aware, Board of Finance came out back in July of 22, I think it was, when they said we couldn't afford anything even at $20 million. Now, the project before, the new project that we had, another architect do, QANM, he did a presentation here, was 37.5 million. And maybe, you know, with inflation, maybe it's 40, 44 million, whatever. But, you know, wouldn't know until you really went out to bid. So it's really a drastic cut in the statement of need. And my viewpoint from Parks and Rec, I won't speak for Barbara, but I think generally, you know, we're all in agreement that we really don't think we can cut it to the point where we're just cutting just to cut. We don't want to use this exercise to get down to something that would not fulfill the needs of the community or the seniors. Doesn't make sense. So, you know, we're hopeful. Brian seems to be a very good architect. He's local. He understands the history of the buildings. He knows all the town buildings. He is the architect that's designed the renovation of the police department. He's working on that. So he, I think he generally as he said to us, I want something to come of this. I just don't want to see it pushed aside. So I think he's sincere in his efforts. I know he is, but it does entail, you know, a lot of work from the staff. Barbara and myself. With that, we did visit many senior community centers the last time around. And so now we've decided to go back and revisit a few of them. One being Rocky Hill. Rocky Hill built a community and senior center and opened it a couple of years ago, built it in 2018. It's an addition to their current town hall. So they already had a gym in their town hall. They didn't need to put a gym in for maybe pickleball, you know, for seniors during the day, other people at night, whatever. They didn't have to add that, but they did add a nice multi-purpose room, new kitchen. It really is a nice facility. At that time, the cost, and again, they're years ahead of us, it was, for that facility, it was $10,500,000. We got an opportunity to go there last week, Jen, Tina, Debbie Dennis, and myself. And I'll tell you, I really was so excited seeing it because I can see it's exactly, you know, what we would hope it to be and more. Their membership went from 400 old facility to 2,100 now. How many are active? Over 200 people, and I'm just talking senior center. The senior portion, which is during the day. Same rooms are used that nighttime, later afternoon by the rest of the community. Of the 2,100, around 200 attend programs for the seniors per day. And it's new faces. It's not the same 200 people every day. Because they can offer a wide variety of programs. I have there's.
Yeah.
This is their booklet. This is.
Their
however they do
newsletter.
it.
They do, they do 2 months.
2 months, every 2 months, you can see how many pages are in there, what they offer. Their kitchen is used as a warming kitchen only, not to cook. I mean, they can cook on the stove, but it's a warming kitchen. And they have a restaurant, local restaurant, come in for their meals. It costs the town $8 a person for their lunches. And it would cost the seniors $5 for a resident, $10 for out-of-towners. Interesting enough, we asked, how many people from Berlin are part of your senior center? 26. 26. They did a scan of their, and these are, it's a nominal fee, $20 for an outsider to join. Obviously, the programs are extra cost, but they show up, they go to Rocky Hill. That's a lot of people.
They have non-resident members from 40 towns.
And it's, you walk in and I was so excited, we talked
To people that were,
that were
they
there.
have a very, when you walk in, they have like, a round thing in the middle where they have seating around it. They have like a coffee bar, then they have other seating and tables. So you could have, there was a lady knitting. There was a group that just got out of their exercise class. They were just sitting and chit chatting. There was a couple over here. And
There's a
It
gas
was-
fireplace.
yeah, there's like a gas fireplace. Their coffee bar is open from 8 to 2. And it was just very welcoming, and you could see the people just coming and going and
And
doing-
we talked to
doing
a
their
group
thing.
that was sitting around,
Yeah, we talked,
talking.
yeah,
And one of them was town councilwoman, and she was there from the beginning when they built it. She was a council person, she still is. I asked the other people, I said, well, okay, since you're a council person, is this the best investment that the town made for the seniors? Oh, hands down. And then a fellow says, and I don't even pay property taxes in this town, I'm from Cruisfield, this is the best place to come. It's just a beautiful concept, it's the same architect that we had before.
and I did ask the ladies that we were talking, the
Yeah.
gentlemen, I said, did you see such a big increase in your taxes? When this came about? Nope. Didn't
They-
notice it.
They were there, and to that, they were in better debt health than we were. They didn't have as much debt as Berlin does. So there is a cost, but and that can all be figured out once we come up with the cost. But I leave you with this. We need to get people out. We need people talking about it. And we need people to go to the council meetings. And I know they're at 7 o'clock at night. But we need people there, because that's how, we need people to support what might come up, because the question is there really a need? And the only way people are gonna know there's a need is if the townspeople say, we need this, we need it, and we need it now. So we really need that, we need seniors, we need community people for Parks and Rec, we need all that. I think just like the last time, when we had the subcommittee, there weren't many people that showed up to our meetings. In fact, it was really 2 families that showed up. And as I've told those families, I appreciate you coming, but I need more than just 2 families coming, because otherwise, they're not gonna press them on it. So that's the way. We can do the groundwork, we can work with the architect. But if you really want it, and we need it, we gotta go to the meetings, and we need 50 people. 50 people at the town council meetings. Talk to audience citizens and let them know how you feel. Whether, and if you don't want it, let them know how you feel. That's okay too. So, a lot of work's done. We were hoping to go to Newtown tomorrow. We're not going there. We're going to Cheshire. And Wyndham. Wyndham just built a new one as well. We're going there later this week in Cheshire on Friday and see their pools. One of the things that we had included in our previous statement in need is pool. A lap pool, which, you know, is a regular swimming pool. Along with a water therapy pool, which is a warmer temperature. Because most places that you go to, you hear, you know, the lap pool, the larger pool is cooler normally. So a little smaller, but it's for water aerobics. Any type of exercise program would be done in a very smaller pool. It's not that big, but you fit, you know, maybe 20, 25 people in it, along with an instructor. And that's what towns have. I'll tell you this on pools. For Parks and Rec, we've recommended that we unfortunately close the Dinda pool over in East Berlin and replace it with a splash pad. There hasn't been a lot of attendance there. It's slowed down quite a bit, needs a lot of repair, a lot of money. It's not ADA accessible as well. So we think we can do something special for that area. But that leaves us with one town pool, and it's an outdoor pool that's only used 55, 56 days a year, because it's after school gets out and it ends in August when the college kids go back. Most towns in our area have an indoor pool. Some are at a high school, some are part of their senior community center. But even Rocky Hill, whose indoor pool is at the high school, from 6 in the morning to 7:30 in the morning, people are there, seniors, show up, they want to swim. They swim, they have programs. They're out of there by 7:30, school occurs, and then swim team, when the swim team is in session, they have the pool until 4:30, maybe 4:45. At 5 o'clock, it's open to the town and stays open till 9 o'clock. Monday through Friday, and then Saturdays, some Sundays, depending on programs. But seniors are using their indoor pool, and they use it all year. They actually run their swimming lessons out of the high school pool, rather than they also have an outdoor pool, rather than the outdoor pool. Why? Because they don't want rain to slow down swimming lessons. So it's run out of the indoor. So anyway, that's another thing with the pool, but it is exciting, and if we want to get a trip of people to go to Rocky Hill, and then
just sit there and see it.
and talk
It's
to
a-
people,
Yeah.
It's amazing, and
talk to people.
people are coming in and they're going to the fitness room, they're going to an exercise class, they're going to like a presentation, they're coming for lunch. They have a gift shop where their seniors made, it's like consignment kind of.
It's just a couple of
Um,
pictures, but
They sell the people's
start there,
stuff.
just one more.
Um,
That's just the open.
What else is also good in regards is that they share staff.
Yeah.
So they have a park and rec, like AA next to a senior center. So they're sharing the staff, which is nice, and they work together well in doing
Right.
different programs or whatever. But it was amazing sitting there to see
I
the
don't know.
people
We got it.
coming in and sitting at the coffee bar.
I was amazed that people were at the coffee bar.
Yeah,
I mean, but they have coffee, they have Danish for people.
no, there's just, I think, more. They get sponsors,
Yeah, they get
like,
sponsors.
like,
Sponsors for the coffee
Yeah.
bar. Business.
We-
Yeah, you go up and get coffee for free, but that's because somebody sponsored it
Sponsor.
for $50. And it's not businesses, it's
Right.
like members that are like, here, I'll sponsor
yeah,
August.
I had that though.
Yeah,
His wife sponsored it one month.
yeah,
And then I had a hair salon sponsor it,
yeah.
another month there.
So
Yeah,
it's
there, you
cool.
know, there's a jar there, people can make donations if they want, but the business community has supported them very well. I mean, that restaurant, they get a big lunch crowd. And they use their.
That's because the
multi-purpose
town gives it, provides in their budget money for those type of lunches.
Those have brand.
Right.
Well.
They don't have a elderly nutrition program providers, no. They don't have like CRT or CW.
They used to, they used to.
Now they just have Nitros.
Right.
And he does the food
And
I
he does that
understand.
every day.
every day.
And loads of volunteers, senior
Yeah.
volunteers.
125
One helps in the
volunteers.
Kitchen, he's got a,
Yeah,
what the hell is it called?
apron.
Apron, thank you, with his name on it, volunteer.
They have a lot
And
of
next woman says, hey, how you doing it? Hey, I'm Joe, I'm a volunteer. He's so proud. You should have seen the apple pie. He was cut, it was that thick, and probably had 50 pieces already cut, ready for the lunch for the people to come in. But, again, it's, you know, again, when you think about, I get excited because when you think about it, it can help. Obviously, the seniors, our community. And in economic development,
And there's
because these people are doing things after they leave the
and
community
their
center.
community is about the same size as ours, maybe a little bit bigger. I think they said they had 21.
They're-
or
They're right under
22.
21.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and their
so we looked it
seniors,
up.
I think they said the count was like 7,000. So they're a little bit more than us, but, and the center is not like huge.
No,
It's just well
well designed,
designed.
open meeting rooms on the side, they have
Yeah.
nice dance aerobic room. That was one of the
They have
things, they
an art
said it fits 20,
Yeah.
they said, gotta make it fit 30. People sign up, and a lot of these people that were sitting around. It was about 11 o'clock, about 5:11, they got up. Oh, I'm sorry to take your time, that's okay, I gotta go to class, that's why I come in early, I have a cup of coffee. Now I'm going to the aerobic class,
Yeah.
you know, so it's just.
It was very impressive.
Well, Donna, thank you so much for doing that and giving that report,
Well,
because,
Jen
and Jen and.
They were there,
Yes,
so.
I think it was so good that,
But it is good to have participation.
Yeah.
No, yeah, good idea.
and I do wanna mention that the architect that they had was the architect that we had.
Yep.
Akari.
Yes, that's right.
And I was a little bit disappointed that we did not have him because we already spent the money for him
Right.
with the plans and everything. But when we met the two Wednesdays with this new architect, I was comfortable with him. I think that he lives in town. I think he's gonna do what he thinks is the best for town. And he also did mention that he is not connected with the Y, which I had a concern about because I thought maybe the administration got to him and said, you know, this is what we really want. But he said he has no connection. His purpose is to design the senior center, community center. And he has no connection with the Y. So I was happy to hear that, you know?
Right.
And
Yeah, he said that he does not like to work on projects that sit on shelves. So he wants it to be a success.
And what Donna is explaining here is what I have always envisioned for Berlin. Because it would be like the center, the heartbeat of the community,
Yep.
because everybody can use it, you know, all ages. So I think that would be just so perfect, and I just don't know, I know we want a pool, they don't have one because they have one at the high school. But I just don't know how we can get this word out, because it just seems we don't have good press. And I just don't know how we would go about that. But I was gonna ask you, Tina, if we could have one day a senior bus go over and take some people over, maybe even 2 senior buses.
Yeah, I'd have to see with Gina, the director there, if we could visit.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure they wouldn't
Yeah.
mind us
Yeah, I don't
visiting.
No,
but-
she actually
No,
welcomed
Yeah.
it. That'd be fine, you know, as long as schedules worked out for everybody.
And I think if we could get a few people from the center here to go over there and see what they're doing, that at least spreads the word for some other people,
Right.
you know? And I
we gotta get the ones that are gonna talk,
Right.
the
Yeah.
talkers.
And go to meetings.
Go
And
to
yes,
meetings.
and the ones that are interested
Right.
and the ones that do not want the Y, and there's many of them, you know? So I think that we should, you know, try to do that. That would be really good.
I should mention too, one of Brian's tasks is also to talk to Berlin Housing Authority on what they would do with this existing facility. To understand that, whether or not things could be modified here.
I think he did.
No, we're meeting Wednesday. I'm gonna go.
I got something though where it said what the plan is for
Yeah,
this.
So Joe Bojarski wrote, I don't know,
Right.
maybe you got a draft.
Yeah.
But he wrote up points. And talking to him on the phone, when I set up the meeting, he said, you know. Well, the parking lot, quite frankly, the town's already asked. And we'd have to put a huge retaining wall, and we're only gonna get a few spaces conditional, so it doesn't make any sense, so. But, and tomorrow, we're meeting with the library to talk about whether they have a need to take up some of the community center space that's there, so. So that's part of his project as well.
Who's meeting? Brian from the architect is meeting?
Yeah, Wednesday with Joe, and I'm gonna go, Barbara, just because I want.
I think you should, yeah, that would be good, give us some input.
And Brian's meeting with the library tomorrow.
Tomorrow, and I'll be there as well. Yeah.
Oh, that would be great.
And this is a kind of a funny thing, but one of the asks from the council was, and when you reduce the statement of need, look out 20 years to make sure that we cover the needs in 20 years. So here we gotta reduce our current statement of need, and it's gonna work for the next 20 years. That's
Needs are.
kind of a little comical, so.
I did ask the architect, what is his projection, and he said 20 years. When I spoke to the council, I said, we should build out for 30 to 40 years. But he explained that the 20 years is the financial end of, and that was, I didn't think about finances, I was just thinking about usage, you know? But, that he did bring up a good point, so. That's the bonding is 20 years or something like that, he said. So that was his thing.
And the commissions will need to approve the reduced statement of need since it's a commission. So once there's a draft, I think, both commissions will get a copy of the draft because obviously you're part of the commission, you need to voice thoughts. That being said, we have to all remember it's to reduce, so. We'll see how that goes. And I know you only meet every other month. We only meet once a month. We may need to schedule an extra meeting or whatever, depending on the timeline. Because I know that they want to get this done, but we'll see what that turns out to be.
Well, I think it's really nice that we're able to have these meetings and we're able to talk about it and we're not under a gag order like we were before. So at least we can speak out, we can say what we're doing at the meetings and what's happening and how we're looking at other places, so, and other needs. So I think that's good too.
And just so that the ones that, I don't know if you were all around, but we tried to expand this building in 2004. And it was like a $1.2 million. It went to referendum and it got defeated. So it's been 20 years since that.
And about 5 or 6 years ago, we also circulated a petition among the senior center for change of parking. And they said that was not gonna happen because the parking lot belongs to the housing authority. And they are not planning to do anything with the parking lot, so that we have looked into things over the years. And that's just not gonna work. Okay, thank you, Donna, that was very informative. I really appreciate you going and coming and sharing that with us too. Okay, senior center director report.
I told
Oh,
you,
election of officers. I'm skipping right over here. Pressing it up. We have to have election of officers tonight. Now. I guess. What we would do is call for, now I want to say this before we do anything else. I always say, if somebody else would prefer to do this job, it's okay with me, because I would still stay on the commission, but. We have to have nominations for chairperson. So if anybody wants. Chair. What? Co-chair.
Vice chair.
Yes.
Which is Frank.
Oh, I didn't know if I.
Yeah,
had
and
to
you
do it
shouldn't
one at a
nominate
time.
Frank and vote Frank in without knowing how Frank feels about that.
Yeah, I'm
So,
sure he'd be okay with it once he's feeling here.
yeah, I know, but you should still,
You should probably
has to
tell
ex-
everybody's here.
he has to accept the nomination. So if you're
they wait?
comfortable being chairperson and you guys want to vote for chairperson, that's fine, but if your plan is to nominate Frank, he should really be here for that.
Oh,
So we can
really?
table that to the next meeting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cause you have to, you have to be able to, I mean, it's not formal, but you should verbally be able to accept that, yes, I will accept the nomination of being chairperson or vice chair,
Yeah, and I think the town clerk would like to have whoever's chairman.
be at the
Place,
meeting,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna put Frank off until the March meeting, right?
Well,
Well,
And
election
we're
of
gonna-
officers.
we're gonna put the
The election of office.
Yeah,
officers.
I would just
Yeah,
put
the
it all,
vice chairperson.
I would
Something
just-
in bylaws or anything that has to have this.
I mean,
effective the
technically,
first
her
meeting.
term expires at the end of January, so if you wanna vote for, but I mean,
Sure.
I don't think anyone's gonna say anything, right, Juliet? I would just, if
No,
you wanna,
'cause sometimes we didn't do it till the middle of the
yeah,
summer.
if you wanna wait till March, I don't think there's any,
For everything?
for
Yeah,
everyone,
that's what I would.
yeah.
That would probably be better.
I think
'cause then
that's,
Frank could be here.
Yeah.
know, and,
I say we table item number 5. to the
okay.
Next meeting.
Need a motion?
No, cause it's just the agenda, you're just not voting on it.
April until the next meeting. I wrote that down. Okay. Okay. Thank you for that. Senior Director's Report, Tina.
She'll send it in.
I'll send it in.
Oh, that's
I
right,
didn't get
you
a
said-
chance to do it today.
That's okay.
Today was a crazy day.
That's okay.
Frank's not here.
Frank's not here and I hope to talk to him this week. I hope he's okay. Senior Housing Report, Ann.
I don't have much to report. They did clean the rug, like I said, that got done. They finally cleaned the rug that runs down the middle. It looks pretty good. There was something they couldn't get out, but they put another big piece of rug over it, so that kind of fixed that. We have evidently leaks at the back end where I live. We were supposed to have an inspection. And the first time they were supposed to have it, people came, but they never said anything. Then they came, sent us another letter. So this month we had another inspection. She sent us a letter that she was accepting no excuses from anyone to be unable to look at their apartment. And that she wanted to look at everybody's apartment. And she was coming there, they were gonna have an inspector. I think it might have been somebody from the town hall. The person looked very familiar, but I can't tell you who she was. And the maintenance guy we have. That's the two people that showed up and did the inspection. And they walk in my apartment and they're standing there and we're talking and they're looking up at the ceiling. I look up, my ceiling is stained. My ceiling is leaky.
Oh.
And evidently, when I said something, they said, yeah, I said, I didn't even notice it. And they said, oh yeah, all of the 4 apartments at that end, there's 4 apartments. 2 on that side and 2 on this side, they're leaking because of that atrium feature that runs down the length of the hall. It has this glass, it's pretty, the roof has glass in it, so it looks, you get lighting from the roofs. And I guess that's leaking now.
Skylight.
Yeah, skylights.
They have to be recalled periodically.
Well, I don't know what they didn't do with leaking. I haven't noticed it getting any worse, so I'm assuming they tried to fix something.
And they are gonna address that.
I don't know, Sharon said something to me, I can't always trust what Sharon says. But she said something to me about, yeah, they came in and painted hers, I guess hers was a lot worse. So they came in and painted hers, but she said it's already showing that through, 'cause when you paint, it does that, it shows.
Yeah.
The stain just comes back through, but she said they did come and paint hers, but I haven't had, nobody's offered to do anything with mine, and since it's not horrible, it's only about maybe 2 spots like this and this.
But is it
you
still
know, so not
leaking?
that big around.
Is it still leaking?
I don't think so. I mean, I didn't even notice it was leaking. All it was the staining on the ceiling that when I looked up and they were looking at it and I looked up and I went, "Ugh." I guess I don't look at my ceiling very often.
I thought Jack, Fazino got funds to replace the roof here. Is it only our side?
I don't know.
Sorry, what?
Well,
building.
because the town, even though the building belongs to housing, the town maintains our side of the property.
The center.
Right.
Yeah.
Not
Right,
the
and I
front.
know that Jack had told me that he had gotten funds for roof replacement at the senior center. So I
don't
didn't
think
know if
ever
it
done.
was, I don't even know.
It
I
definitely
don't-
hasn't been done because we would have noticed
No,
if we
but
had
I
any
don't know
room.
if it's for the whole building.
It would have been
It
work
wasn't,
for.
I wasn't done on our end.
No. it
But I
wasn't
don't
done
think it
on
was
ours
done
either.
here either, yeah.
We're
what
quite-
I'm-
we're not sure if it's the whole building that's gonna get,
It's half,
or just the senior center part.
I'll
So I
shoot him
thought
an
this-
email.
right.
Senior.
No, they did like, patches.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I can't believe they wouldn't fund the entire roof. They're gonna, I mean,
Yeah, so that's why I didn't know.
that doesn't make any sense.
I would assume they would.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense to repair, to replace
I
half.
mean, when we got the grant to pave, they only paid part of it, and then afterwards, housing did their own paving. So, yeah,
Because that's separate money.
Cosmetic is still.
I know.
yeah, it should have been jointly put together,
I know, but that's how they
you know?
configure it.
But other than
And
that,
Rosa was not there at the inspection?
Huh?
Rosa was not there at the.
no. No, it wasn't her, it was some one. I have to try to, maybe, I was gonna try to ask,
Someone from Central
Oh.
Connecticut Health District, maybe?
Huh?
Someone from Central Connecticut Health District?
It wouldn't be anybody from your
I
department.
don't know, I was gonna try to ask you if you knew who it was.
Yeah. Find out.
Yeah, I'll
Let
try
us
to
know.
find out.
Thank you, Ann.
I should ask let's ask the maintenance guy, if you
No.
know.
Yeah.
What's his name? I never can. I
don't know.
I've been there for 6 years, I think, and
Could it be
his
somebody
name-
from the management company?
Huh?
Could it be somebody from?
She said
DeMarco
she
Management?
recognized them,
What?
but you said you recognize them.
Could it be Rosa's boss, Matt? He's a
No,
tall,
it was
slender
No,
guy.
she was
a woman,
girl.
A blonde,
One woman.
a
Oh,
little short, not very tall.
I don't know.
Well,
It's
she's
not,
not from
Maybe
the
it was
town.
somebody from the town.
no.
She's not from the town,
I have to try to find them.
unless it's somebody from the health district.
That's the only thing I could think of.
And other than that, not much more has been done. Everybody seems to be settling in fairly well. I think we're almost full now. I think we have all the apartments. full
I
right
think you
now.
got 2 opens.
We still
yeah.
have two?
Yeah, cause Ruth Ann passed away,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And
she's
Mark
one of
passed
the
away.
most-
a new Mark. And number 12,
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So there's still 2 openings.
I think there's 2.
She finally put up a list with some of the names, so at least it looks like we can figure out half of the people that are living.
Yeah,
there.
no, I think there's 2 openings there. And I think one lady also moved. From Percival Heights to Marjorie Moore,
Oh, yeah.
so there could be 3 openings,
2 women from New Britain get to move in then.
not only one.
Only
One.
one, and the other one is still waiting.
At least we got one out of it.
Still waiting.
And she asks me all the time, you know,
I think they told her she's 4th or something.
yeah,
gone.
she was 4th, and they put her to 7th, and now she's 4th again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
I think
understand how
so.
that works.
And I don't know if she. Cause I know the requirements are different. Fun wise.
And the
I don't
one,
know if she can come here or she has to go to Marjorie. Moore.
oh, she wants to go to Marjorie.
Yeah,
Moore,
I know
because
she
that's
does.
where her other friend is. And you know, the one that has moved in, you would think she died and went to heaven. She's absolutely so happy. You know, so that makes you feel good. Okay, thank you, Ann. I have my report, and I did talk to Joe Jaworski, and he wants you to know that he is working actively to secure finances for the new senior housing. And he hopes to have some information soon, and that our commission will be among the first to know. And he will meet with, he's gonna meet with you, Donna, right, soon? Wednesday, yeah, and he told me that, he said, I'm gonna meet with Donna. And we're gonna discuss some things there, so I was happy about that. I did tell you about the architect, I'm happy with who is there now, and I hope that, he seems like he's gonna do a good job, and I hope that things work out. And I hope I didn't feel like we should have to give up a whole lot because he did go around the table. He asked each one of us what we absolutely needed and what we wanted. So we gave him an idea, but I don't, excuse me, I don't want to go too small because I think they have to build again or add on in what, 10 years? You know? And I was thinking in terms of like McGee School. That, how long has that been there now? The library, we started out, it was supposed to be 10 years, now it's 30 years, When you think about the buildings that are there and how long they've been there. And the fact now that you have to add on. I mean, I don't see, in my opinion, we should not scale down too much. But we'll see what he presents to us and what the finance board is willing to discuss. Okay. I just wanted to mention that I think we have to be aware of snowplow people that plow their snow into the handicap spots. I was down at Subway and I went to pull in and there was all snow there. The man that was parked next to me said, "Oh, you can't park there." I knew I couldn't. He said, "Stay here and I'll move my truck and you can park in my spot," which was the next
Oh, that was
spot.
nice.
Yeah. But, so I thought about that and I said, I called the police department and I asked them to go down and do an inspection of that plaza. Because if that plow person, now maybe the owner doesn't know, but the plow person has to know that he can't be plowing the snow into the handicap spot. Because while I sat there, another woman came down with a walker and her caretaker. And I don't know if you're familiar with Subway, but they came down the ramp and they had to go like halfway down to the parking area because there was no place to park.
What did the police department say?
Well, they were gonna go out and do an inspection. They never got back to me. But they were gonna go and see where the snow was. And then I don't know, I asked her, do they inform the owner? And she said, well, they'll look at that and they'll let us know. And nobody ever got back to me. I left her my name and number. I don't know how that worked out, but I did call the hairdresser, because that's where I was coming from. And I said to them, while I was there, I was complaining that the handicap spot was blocked. And she said, we talk about it to the owner, and he does nothing. So I said, well, we'll see what happens now. So I did, I did call the police. And
Yeah, I would think that would be a fine.
I would think so, because
Yeah.
it's a law to plow, to block the handicap spot.
But it would be a fine for the owner of the building who's not ensuring that it's plowed correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, and when I called the hairdresser back and I said, I wanted them to know the police will be coming to take a look at the place. I didn't want them to get nervous or scared. And she thanked me. She says, I really appreciate you doing that, because she says he does not listen to us. So if anybody else
That building.
sees situations where the snow is in the handicap spot,
Who owns that?
just call the police and they will check on it. Okay, the other thing I want to talk about is scam calls. Frank alerted us to that 2 meetings ago about the scam calls going to seniors. Well, I know 2 seniors that have been scammed. One of them just 2 weeks ago out of $10,000. And I was telling my hairdresser about it. He said one of his customers just recently, they got $6,000. They scammed her out of. So I just think that if you know people, seniors, and they target people, especially this time of year, they know they're home, they're not out and about. And the person that I know, she got so nervous because she was home alone and they told her they were gonna cut off her computer and her phone if she didn't follow the instructions. And I think that that's so awful when you scare older
That's
people.
ransomware.
Yes, yes. So if you know anyone, please alert them if these scam calls are going out, and if they should be very much aware of that. Okay,
But hers wasn't a call, hers came across her computer.
hers came
I
on.
gave her a number to call,
Yes, yes.
and then she
Yeah.
made the decision
Yeah.
to call.
Yep, and they
Okay.
gave her the instructions, and they sent her to places to get these gift cards,
Right,
and she.
that,
did.
that right there is a red flag.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're asking you to go get a gift card,
yeah,
especially with a denomination of $5,000. That's a red flag.
and they were very,
Even any gift card.
yes,
Yeah.
and
Any
they,
gift card.
they told her, don't hang up the phone or we'll be disconnected, and then you will not have a computer or a phone. So they really scare them. But the one from the hairdresser, it was one of those grandmother calls where
Right.
they said, you know, I'm your grandson,
Right,
and
yeah.
she fell for
That's
it, it
still
was
goes,
$6,000 for that woman,
Yeah.
so. I just want people, if you know any senior, please make them aware.
And also you don't win the lottery without playing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
We had another senior that,
Oh, really? They scammed her that way?
Marjorie Moore.
Oh, they told her she won the lottery.
They told her she won 17 million, but she had to pay some fee and get
Gift
gift cards.
Yeah.
To send or whatever, to give to them. And then they called her again and said she had to go get another one. But Victoria and I had picked up that she wasn't here for bingo, and she usually is. So I went to check on her, and she was getting in her car to go. To get another
Oh.
gift card or whatever at the bank, take
Jeez.
money. And she thought. That she had, and she was adamant about going to the bank. And I said, you are not going to the bank, I'm gonna stand behind your car, you're gonna have to hit me to move, cause she would not. And I knew her. And she wouldn't listen. I said, I'm gonna stand behind your car, you're not going anywhere. They're scamming you, you didn't win 17 million. You didn't enter, you didn't buy a ticket, whatever. Says they're coming here, I go, they're not coming here, they're telling you they're coming here. But in the meantime, I called the police, when police came in, she kind of listened to him, and then finally her kids arrived, and then she listened. But
And
she
there's
was
so many-
going, she
there's
was
so
going to
many of
get more money,
There's so many of those things,
yeah,
and they're so crafty about it.
yeah.
You know, I was complaining about something, I had my card got transferred to another company. And then while I'm trying to deal with getting that card up, it wasn't working, they weren't able to handle the mass amount of people that their cards got transferred. So the guy I'm in the middle of calling people, I end up with this guy. And he says he's from the place that I'm supposed to be calling. And he starts talking to me about this wonderful program where they'll clear up the seniors' debt. And he had figures from my stuff, so he knew some of my account already. I mean, there's a lot of that that's public, you know, that they can get, you know, so he's talking to him, and
Right,
I didn't give him an awful lot. But when I called my son, I said, this guy said he can help me clear up the debt that I have, I don't have to pay it. Cause there's a program that's gonna pay it, and if you go online and you look that up, that's what pops up first. If you go down further, then you get to the part where it says this is probably a scam,
right,
but you have to go down several levels before you get to that. My son goes, no, that's not right, Ma, we're gonna close your credit, so we closed my credit off, which meant I didn't have any credit for like 6 months, because guess what? No one wants to give you credit when you're 8.
A number of months ago, the police were coming here to do a lecture for,
yeah, we had to
Yes,
cancel
yes.
because nobody signed up.
and then they.
We'll
had
have
to
them come
cancel.
again.
Maybe
We
they'd be
actually,
more
Oh, that would
interested.
be
well,
good
no, I
too.
actually have arranged for, we used to have an officer that would come once a month. You
Oh,
kind of have like office hours, so, giving. Folks a chance, to talk to one of our officers, get to know them, so that they're more comfortable, so when something like this happens, they're not afraid. To report it, now they've got a relationship with an officer, they can call and say. Hey, whatever, this is what happened to me or whatever, so she is going to be coming once a month. And people can sit with her and talk, about, you know, if there's any issues at home, in the neighborhood, whatever.
oh,
So-
one particular officer.
Yeah.
Like liaison,
Yeah, our officer Megan,
Megan, I love her.
yeah. Megan came for our open house
Yep.
And she loved it here and everybody loved her, so I requested, I reached out to Deputy Chief, Drew and said, you know, she'd be perfect here,
Wow,
working with the seniors, so, they're putting it into place.
that's a
So
great
now we
plan.
just have to
That
set
is
up,
very good. That'd be
I'm waiting to hear
fabulous.
from them to set up, a time, a schedule.
They
And
have
we will
one-
have them back too, because they were gonna do like an identity theft scam, but then nobody signed up, so I had to cancel. So,
I know a local bank came and did that.
Yeah.
I didn't,
but yeah, one of the officers
did.
was coming for that too,
I think that.
because we've done it in the
I think
past.
that's a great plan.
Cause then
Yeah.
that makes people aware, you
Right.
know, and that's.
But
what
we gotta
should
get
be.
people to come
And you feel.
to it,
Yeah,
Well,
you know?
well, I think people are pretty willing to come if they think there's something that they really, really need
Yeah.
to know, you know? I think it's how you present it.
well, they have a book club at the library once in a while with the police in attendance. I don't know if it's the same person every time. It's
Yeah.
a female officer.
Could be,
Yeah,
there's a few female officers,
yeah, it wasn't Kathy or maybe, you know that.
yeah, there's some other new ones.
And she brings her dog.
Oh, it's Amy. Officer
Yes,
Amy.
that sounds right, yeah.
Yeah, it's Officer,
So I think that's also trying to bridge people with the
right,
police,
right.
the common folks with. the
Right,
police.
because if you're comfortable, you know. With an officer, you're more apt to report
Yeah.
than if you're
That's
not.
great. That's a good plan.
I think in the case of the person I knew, when she went to Lowe's to get these gift cards, she asked for $3,000. At Lowe's, I guess they can't say, no, we can't give you the gift cards, or maybe it's a scam. So the woman did say to her, I just want you to be aware, you know, this is a lot of money for gift cards and, maybe, there are some scams going around. So she did try without jeopardizing her job, you know, to kind of make.
Well,
her a
that's what
little
she
bit
asked,
aware.
remember, she asked for 5,000, but the girl only had 3,000.
Yeah,
But they also told her. Senior what to say when
yes,
she was buying those cards.
yes, they
Oh,
told.
tell
her,
them it's a gift, a wedding
You
gift.
go, I'm
for-
going to a wedding and
Yeah.
I need to have. these
Wow.
tickets. So
Yeah.
they even told her.
Well,
what to
Walmart
say.
actually
Yeah.
has, Walmart, when you go in there, they have a big sign that tells you, do not do this.
Right. Other
I don't
places
know
do
how
it.
people really read it, but
My girls work at Apple and they had one lady come in, wanted $9,000 in Apple gift cards.
Yeah.
And right away, you know, red flag and.
Yeah,
They
and they
stopped
scare
her.
these people, you
Yeah.
know? Well, okay, if we could have that person come, I
Yes, we
think
will.
that would be great, Tina, because that makes people,
We'll do a
aware,
scam.
you know?
Barbara, I think you gotta back up to number 9.
I just been wondering because
Oh, how am I skipping over these?
Jumped over. it.
No, Roger, senior issues.
Yes.
Oh, and Roger, I wanted to ask you, did you ever get a response to that letter that you sent to the mayor?
no, because I didn't send it to the layer because I was waiting for responses from the commission that I sent it to via emails to everybody.
Oh,
No
So
one responded to them.
I did not send it because I didn't get approval to send it. So
well, don't email me, Roger, because I never look at my email. And sometimes it doesn't work.
I don't know if I have enough for everybody. So I'm just.
and I don't think I got it.
And it
Use
was,
the email that they sent out the
Oh,
commission
okay,
thing.
and that's probably wrong because I changed my email.
Oh, thank you.
I'll have to- I'll
I
have
think
to-
though it was
Email.
conflict anyways, right? Cause that the thing had come out when,
yeah, when he wanted to send the letter after the last commission meeting, that's when the mayor basically said, I'm gonna get the commissions back together to start working on this. So kind of, he answered mayor answered his questions before we even sent it.
Thank God. I think it happened.
Okay.
Telepath.
That's
Yeah.
You want to tell us a
So-
little bit about this?
Well, yeah, so I mean, I was in East Hartford, for something else, and saw this survey of senior. East Hartford seniors and just picked up a copy. Just either people can either take a look and see if it's something that somewhere's online and we need to do, or at least gives us a starting point if we ever have to do a survey for seniors on. Housing and recreation and transportation and activities, so. What's that?
Yeah, this would be great to have if we ever decided to do a survey for sure.
Yeah, this is really, though, very.
Great model.
I said, make copies. The only other question I had, I guess, well, sure, I can do it under my senior issue. What?
Yeah.
What's this, can you share the status of your openings? Positions?
Oh, mine?
Yeah.
So the assistant director position has been filled, but she needed to give a month's notice. So she is starting on the 31st of January. So we are now looking at the applications for the part-time program coordinator. Right now, we did that one first. And now,
So the full-time person is filled.
starting,
She'll start January 31st.
January.
Yeah.
We'll announce her name and, you know, her experience once she starts.
well, it took us, the process to interview and took us from end of November to into January. Well, no, almost into January.
Right before Christmas,
Right
she
before-
accepted.
Well, right after Christmas.
Yeah, right after Christmas, she accepted, right before
It
the
was-
new year.
Yeah, right before New Year's.
Interviews took that long?
We
Well,
did
we-
2 rounds of interviews. We had 5 people on our panel, so it was tough to get everyone in the same room. And then after the 2 rounds, there was no shining star that we were all in agreement on. We came down to like 2. So then and I set up interviews with those 2 finalists just here at the senior center to kind of give them a tour of the senior center and everything. So we really did 3 rounds of interviews.
One came and one didn't.
And the one that came was great, so
She didn't call us back. She didn't. nothing.
yeah, just didn't
What's your
respond.
time frame for the part-time?
The good news is that that'll just be me and Tina sitting with someone, so hopefully we can move on that much
Quicker.
quicker. Yeah, we just have to sit down, look at applications and see who we want to bring in.
I'm hoping, 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
I'm fine with them. I'll make the time to do those interviews.
Sure.
And those are like 20 minutes each, so.
Yeah, so the new person is Samantha. She likes to be called Sammy, and she will be starting Wednesday, January 31st.
And has she worked at a senior center
No.
before?
No, she's been mostly skilled nursing
Skilled nursing
facilities
Facility.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
in therapeutic recreation.
Recreation,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
I think there was only one candidate that had very little.
very little
Senior
senior
center.
center experience. Yeah.
They all were from skilled nursing facilities, assisted living. And most of them were recreational therapists.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
She's very
Yeah.
excited though.
Yeah.
She feels this is what she wants to do
Right.
as opposed to skilled nursing. So
Now, does she live pretty local or?
she's about 20 minutes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was in Prospect, I believe. So
Well, I'm
I
glad.
think
to
she'll
hear-
be a good fit.
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear that you have someone, because I think
Yes.
it's very,
Yeah.
we have wonderful volunteers.
Right.
And we're very lucky for that.
Yes, we are.
We are extremely
But I
lucky for
think-
everything everyone's done
Yes,
so
we
far.
are Very lucky, and they're all great,
Right.
but you can't run a place like this on volunteers.
No.
All the time, you have to have a person, you know.
Unfortunately, she just had to give. Usually it's 2 weeks, but
Yeah.
where she was, she had to give a month. So.
And you have to
It took
respect
her longer
that.
than-
Some employers are
further
like that.
out than
So
Anticipated.
we don't want to force anyone to leave on bad terms. So
No,
And we also wanted to make sure we had the right person. That's why we did a third kind of.
yeah.
Trying to see her in the environment because we knew she didn't come from this type of environment. And she was very excited to come, and the day she was here. She was, very, took the initiative to talk to seniors and.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, she was very good.
and she got to tour and.
Yeah, she asked questions, yeah. We sat with her for a while and she asked questions, so.
Well, that's good, and when will she be starting?
Wednesday, the
31st.
31st. She will be here.
Okay.
And then hopefully our part-time program will be, second week of February. It'll give us 3 weeks,
Yeah, that should hopefully just be one interview.
right?
Well, that's great, I'm glad to hear that you found someone. Okay, Roger, is that it for you?
Okay, go ahead, Gloria.
Is that a position that's been filled here before?
Yes.
Kind of a half-time? Oh, it existed before?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it started with, Cheryl. I don't know if you were here when Cheryl was here. And then Cheryl retired, like the final retired, because she had retired from that now, but then she worked here. And then it was, Tammy,
Yes,
and then Tammy got a full-time
a
job.
great job, right?
Then it was Maureen. She
She
lasted
was quick,
2 weeks,
3 weeks, I think,
that,
because I shared the little office with
Yeah,
her and me and
yeah.
the driver.
3 weeks, and then
Close.
Kathy, Roger's
Oh,
wife.
yes. it was wonderful.
Filled in for a bit.
Filled in for the summer.
Yeah.
With that, and has recently, whenever she's had free time, filled in, and then it'll be a new person,
Good.
yeah.
Great.
We haven't had that position in place for that long.
I was hoping it was gonna be Kathy.
I tried,
But I know she's got.
she's got grandma.
Yeah.
Family.
yes,
Big years to be open.
Family
to be
first.
open again.
and she's
That
got,
would be great.
Yeah,
she's gotta have that time with
Yeah.
her grandchildren. And that's
she's
important.
got her grand, oh yeah, cause they'll be in school soon, by in
Yeah.
a few years, yeah.
3 years.
Yeah, she's perfect,
Yes,
those teachers.
and everybody loves
ex-teachers.
her.
That's
and
what-
they feel
that's
comfortable
Debbie's,
with
I
her.
mean-
That's
Yeah.
why I was hoping it was her, but.
Debbie
Yeah.
wants teachers, so she's like the best
teachers-
employee, she says.
Yeah, retired teachers are wonderful because
Yeah.
they just jump right in there.
Yeah, it is. They have that experience.
Yeah.
Okay, Roger, do you have anything else?
The only other question I had was on my reappointment, which ends the 31st, as does Frank's. Is the council voting on applications?
So you're on, yeah, you're on the council agenda this month. I mean, this meeting coming up on Tuesday.
Tomorrow, right?
Yeah, tomorrow. I'll be there. As long as their meeting does not get too long, they will probably go through them and appoint you. So,
But he doesn't have to be there, right?
no,
No,
Would-
and then he would have to go to the town hall.
they'll,
to be-
yeah, the town clerk's office will probably send you a letter that says you've been appointed and then come in and,
Cause I had to go back and get, I went back.
yeah, because you
The
were,
other thing.
because you were filling an opening, you weren't doing the full 2 or 3 years.
Right,
That's
Yeah.
right, but.
So
but I-
now when you're reappointed, you'll be the full term.
But what I had to go back and do was the charter thing.
Yeah,
that form.
yeah.
Which, but I did that before I was able to do the reappointment. It's kind of weird, so.
I'll be there Tuesday, so tomorrow.
What will happen if that's to the end of the month, their term is up? What if Frank can't do it by the end of the month?
Meaning go to the town clerks and swear in,
Yeah,
it'll be fine.
Yeah.
He'll be appointed, he'll go in when he can, we can still, I'll find out as long as, I'll make sure, see if he can still be a voting member. But even if he can't be a voting member, you still have a quorum of 4, he can still contribute and do everything. He just can't vote, but I'll find out.
Yeah.
If Frank
Okay.
can't get to swear in by January
I'm just
31st when his term
thinking
is up.
he's not, you know,
For the next meeting. yes.
His term is
By-
up
by the
January,
end
yeah,
of
so really he has
No,
until
He has
March.
until March.
Really, he has until March when your next
Yeah.
meeting is. So it's not till, yes, his term is up January 31st, but as
He's
long
gonna
as he
get
gets sworn
reappointed.
in,
Tomorrow, and then he has to go in.
as long as he gets
Oh,
sworn in
before
before your
I
March
see what
meeting, you're
saying,
fine.
before the March meeting,
Yeah.
has to be reappointed.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
That gives him plenty of time.
Yeah.
You want me to get well card, you can all sign it.
Yeah, could you? That'd be nice.
I'm thinking we should start with that too. Yeah. Okay, is there any old business to come before the meeting? Oh, I wanted to mention one more thing, that we have, actually, it's under new business. Okay, any old business to come before the meeting?
No,
No? Any new business? I just wanted to mention that the attendance report, Julianne sent us an attendance report. And we had such great attendance for our commission. So I was very happy to see that. So congratulations to the.
good
commission.
job.
Yes, congratulations. Okay, any other new business?
Nope.
No. Okay, then we have a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Someone needs
Second.
to make a motion.
Second.
And
Came in.
Kay made the motion and seconded,
now you have to vote.
and did,
And.
all in favor.
All in favor?
Aye. And
Okay.
all, coming out on this cold night.